Yes, safety matters. In the time that we're living in, technology can make many people very naive, where people are sharing the actual location of where they are, their children, sometimes their partners, very innocently. But the scary thing is the person who's on the other side, the one viewing, the one who will like or share, or even do none of that, but it's just watching. Because you don't know who's on the other side. Hence, you put yourself in a place of compromise. We live in times where we forget that before technology, before media houses, we had what we call the whispers. The whispers were the warnings that we were given. For example, in a family, we'd be told, don't go to this neighbor. As in whispers, your parents would say, you'd hear each other neighbors tell their children. And you'd ask why. They'll tell you, just don't. Things happen. And as kids, you'll say it's just because they don't want you to have fun. Until you get to hear actual stories, what happened to a particular child or a person who was along a particular route. And then you realize those whispers saved my life. Because we are so engrossed with technology, we are so engrossed with trust in media, whether it's independent, whether it's mainstream media, but we forget there are many stories that are told and there are many issues that happen behind closed doors, and we call it the whispers of a town, the whispers of a country, the whispers of a village, the whispers of a community. There are places because of the color of your skin, even here, where when the sun goes down, there are places you don't want to find yourself. And the sundown town thing, yes, it may be spoken a lot within the western side of nations, whereby because of a different race, where there's a predominantly particular race, because of your particular race being the minority, things happen by day, everything's okay, you can do anything, and by night stuff happens. So that can be used, the word sundown town, easily from that context. But we forget even here, there are places you just can't go just like that. You can go by day and it's normal. I recall there's a place we went, we had gone to see a relative. I'm of a different ethnic community, he's a different ethnic community, but we are one country. Yes. And so we drive there, we arrive. You know the way someone would be happy and excited, so they're happy to see us. Anyway, they're expecting us, but then they ask a very weird question: which route did you use? We explain to them, and then he's quiet for like 2 minutes. Then me and the other person, we are thinking, did we drive fast, did we drive slow? And then he tells us, when this whole event is over, we leave. And he told us, yes, are we staying for the night, or are we like, will we stay or will we go the next day? We were like, nah, it's our country, man, we drive anytime. He's like, nope, I will drive you back. He didn't beat much about it, but we did notice when we were driving, so this area is like not like a village, because it does have tarmac. Most people would perceive it not a highway per se, but it's not that a busy road. It does have tarmac, good tarmac town. But what I did notice is many people around there had red eyes, like the way someone will get so high on something, and it's pretty red, scary red, and then they'll look at you like as if they're zombies. Like they look at you left, right. You're thinking, is it the car? Is it me? What's off? So we had noticed that, but we didn't bad much about it. And so when now we are leaving, he decides, I'll be the one to drive. No one has a problem, but he decided when he's driving, he's going to lower the window, like cool beans. And then we noticed something was interesting when he was driving back. The people who were looking at us, they were young men, women, old. They just looked at us. When they saw him, they smiled. They even waved at him. He waved back, drove us until the town, and then now I was given the car, and then I was able to drive. And in the car, we were all looking at each other like, what happened? And so later on, I asked him, and he was able to say, stuff happens when it gets to the evening, or in other times when the sun goes down. So we're talking from around, better timing is around 7 p.m. 7 p.m. is another thing. So As a kid, I used to hear these things a lot, a lot, a lot. I remember there's a highway we use. People use it a lot, actually. It's a very frequent highway. Trailers are more predominant on that highway here in the country. And there are these towns we pass. They're not so busy towns. But when it clocks 7 p.m., it's a whole different conversation. You don't want to take a motel there. You don't want to do anything like that. So one time I recall uh, we were on a public transport. It was early. We were from a country, and then the driver and the conductor were very worried. They were calling their previous guy, like, guys, this route you use, how bad was it? They're like, okay, so and so was carjacked, so and so was ABCD. Like, okay. So when he hit the road, the driver was pressing that pedal to the mode. We were thinking, is it Fast and Furious? What's going on? So one day, I was the one who was going to go through that whole scenario. I was driving. I was with my dad at that time, and we were alert. In our car, we had sort ourselves out in terms of weaponry in case anything goes sideways. You know, every time you have a car, carry something. Just carry something, for crying out loud, for your own security. And as we are driving, I noticed I had a slow puncture. My dad freaked out. My dad is ex-military. He freaked out. I freaked out because now I knew about the whispers. So I go and check the car. I'm like, for me to get to the next big town, that would be around 45 minutes. And I'm there, I'm thinking, and I remember, well, I'm there thinking, I prayed, I told God, 45 minutes, I need to reduce it to 10 to 15 minutes. Because I know once I'm gone, and for you to know it was bad, I remember highway police came. They came where we were. They looked at us. They moved their torch. They came guns, not to attack us, but to protect us. And then I remember the cops telling us, step on that gas, press it until you get to the next big town. My friend, I did not give a damn if there was a deer, if there was anything flying, anything that was on my way, I was going to go through it. Because we knew the stories were told, the whispers were there. And there's a place I remember what should be in May. We went to a wedding, and so there's a shortcut that we used. And I remember when we arrived, I'd noticed something off. I remember in the car, I was telling the guy, the driver, I'm like, yo, have you noticed something off about this shortcut town we've taken? It's actually a good shortcut. It reduces journey. People use it. I mean, along that route. And I told this guy, this route, do you notice something off about it? They're like, yeah, I'm noticing. Yeah, the people look okay, but we need to be careful. So when we arrive, so the wedding happens, and then one of the guys is like, he's traveling. Then he asked us which route we use. We told him, just this route. He told us, be very careful. If you're going back, don't use that route. Choose another route. I'm like, cool. And asked him why. Like, you will hear stories. You will know. And then we were like, yeah, we don't need to know much. We understand. And in a time like this, where our country is going through political instability kind of things, and the people who are ethnic or issues where they are more motivated to, eliminate people of other communities, you need to be very aware of your surrounding. Anytime you purchase land, anywhere you drive, there are places you drive and you are warned, my friend, even if you have a tire, go with the rim. Yeah, here. So you need to know where you live. You need to know the stories and the whispers of where you live, because different countries will call it different names. Others will call it sundown towns. Others will give it a nickname. Remember, before technology, we had the whispers. Get to understand where you live, places you travel. What are the whispers? There's a place I travel, a country I travel. These two countries at the border, before the border, there's a town. And I notice every time the drivers would drive, when they are there, they were not talking to each other. They were like robotic. And so one time I asked one guy, I'm like, what's up with this area? He told him, you don't want to, because it's commonly known for man-eating type of stuff, cannibalism type of stuff. And so I decided, let me go ask people from both countries on the side. I wish I didn't do that, because someone even had video evidence. Yeah, that's creepy, but yeah. And I was able to, like, you know what? I don't need to. So I understood. So every country has its own whispers. It's important to know the whispers of the country you are in, the community you are in, because just because we are of the same country doesn't mean you're invited in some places. And in other countries, just because of the color of your skin, you may not be. Let's not confuse technology and media and thinking that just because it's not spoken on media, it's not happening. Every town, every country has its own whisper. Your safety matters. In a time that we are living in, you want to be very alert where you go, where you travel, people you talk to, things you indulge in, whom you indulge in, because at the end of the day, the people who take you down, they smile at you, they welcome you, and that becomes the end of your story. These things are real. Ask those close around you, ask those older people, and then you will come and know. So never ignore the whispers, because the whispers saves lives.